right, everybody, welcome into the M&M podcast. You got DJ Maxwell Kane of Maxwell Kane's Music, and you got me, Mike, DJ Mike. I don't have a cool name, but anyway, it's our first official episode of the M&M podcast. I do, DJ Mike, DJ Magic Mike.
Magic Mike.
Right? That's gotta be a great name. Great name. Anyway, today our first episode is going to be a tribute and part of our series of album reviews that we're going to be doing on the podcast. We're going to be reviewing a lot of classic albums, especially the ones that are on my wall. We're going to be reviewing some of those. But the big one, a local band from Mass. They grew up in Rhode Island too. Grew up on them. Love them. From the 70s, obviously I wasn't around, but, hand me down, all that stuff, know every single song. Today we're going to be shouting out the wonderful Tavares, and we're going to be doing
my favorite album.
Yep. We're gonna be doing a whole series of album reviews just dedicated to every Tavares album, and we're gonna give our honest opinions on them because we love them. We're huge fans, and we're gonna do it up. And hopefully, for some of you guys grew up on them. Feel free to share your thoughts on them. But Sky High, probably, I think it's got to be their best selling album.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it has their biggest hit on there.
So I just saw them recently on Mother's Day at the Zeiterion on the Sunday after they sold out, their first show on the Friday night. Every song on this album was sung at that concert. Yeah. This is probably, one of their condensed, shortest albums, per se, with hit songs. What is there only less than 8 songs on here or so, and
yeah, there's 8 songs. They did about 8 to 10 songs per album.
Yeah,
they really never exceeded that.
No, and this is probably the most power packed one of them all.
Yeah, for sure. This came out in 1976. They were just riding off of their previous album, In the City. Had It Only Takes a Minute, which was one of their first number 1 hits. Mm-hmm. One of, I'm not completely sure it's their first, but I believe it's one of their first. Mm-hmm. And that's when disco starts pumping up.
Yeah.
So they bring in all these producers, Freddie Perrin, who else? St. Louis. Freddie Perrin was huge. He did a lot of recording during that era. He was one of the best producers there is. So they brought in the top notch crew for that. I'm just looking on here too. You got some amazing musicians on here. I think Freddie Perrin worked with the Silvers. He worked with some other people as well. So, they come in hot with this album. Again, I wouldn't say this is complete disco because it's not. No. But it's got to be one of their best. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I think I have another one that's my favorite. But it's second.
Mine. But it's not my favorite. I listen to this. So
there's no skippable tracks on this one.
No, but for those of you that don't know, when I go to a DJ event, this starts playing as soon as we leave the house and as soon as we arrive at the event on repeat. This is my go-to pump up, get me ready for a wedding, get me ready for a prom, Sweet 16. It's one of my favorites. It just gets me in the mood to party.
All right. You do you.
What do you listen to? Daddy Yankee? What do you listen to on the way to a gig? Come on.
Sports radio.
Sports radio? Oh,
yeah,
WEI?
I can't listen to music.
93.7?
98.5. All day long. Can't do it. Can't do music.
No.
So anyway, we get into the album review. We're going to go a little track by track, share our thoughts on it. So side 1, The Mighty Power of Love. I'll come out with this one. You couldn't have thought of a better opening track for the album. It comes out hot, a happy-go-lucky song, great song. Probably, again, some of their other lead-off tracks in the album, It Only Takes a Minute. Obviously that's a banger to lead off an album. Bad Times leads off that album. They who done it. So they're very good at picking good songs or great songs to lead off the album. And The Mighty Power of Love is one of the best lead-off songs. So again, happy-go-lucky song. Love the song. I would give it an 8 out of 10. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's a great lead-off track. It's not a hit, but it's a great lead-off off track, and it kind of sets the tone because even just looking at the cover of the album, it's a happy. It looks like a happy album. It looks like a
Mhm.
positive album. So that song like literally starts it off great.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 8.10, 8 out of 10, 8.0 out of
8.10.
10,
Yeah,
8.10.
8.10. All right.
8 out of 10. It's
Yeah.
solid. It is. It's a good song. It has a good rhythm section part too. I'm a big trumpet player, so rhythm sections, all that stuff, horn lines, leads, guitars, piano lines. I'm all about that stuff. So that it's a good one. It's a good start to the album. I don't know about the next song on here, but it's a good start.
I'll be hating on this next song. Next song, Riding High, track number 2. Give us your thoughts.
I don't know. It's not one of my favorites on the album. It's up there. Um, you know, I kind of listened to probably the first two verses in the chorus, and then I end up skipping it because I'm kind of, I don't want to hear the whole thing. It just it's just not there. I'm a lot of my favorite songs from them, especially on this album, a lot of upbeat, and then when like there's one song on here that's really slow, like I like to feel the snap and feel the drag of your feet and the movement and stuff. So I probably give that probably a 5 out of 10.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right. Yeah. I'm on
not
the
to be
opposite.
critical, but like,
Oh no, that's what we're for. We're gonna be critical, and it's okay to be critical. It's okay because I'm gonna be critical at times too, but um, not on this track. This track's actually my favorite on the album. I'm not saying it's
what?
the best track. Yes, I'm not saying it's the best track. It's just my favorite. It's my favorite. I just love the old school sound of it. Butch's vocals to me are the best. Like I love his vocals. Like he can sing the high. Then he can come in with the funky vocal, like especially later on in their career, and especially in the '80s, the producers turned to Butch a little bit more. Chubby was great. I think Chubby was a great vocalist during the '70s, during that sound, the disco, the R&B, because they weren't a disco group, they're an R&B group. I think Chubby's vocals fit that time better, but Butch had that like crisp, like I just love it. And his vocal on here is amazing. It's just I feel like it's the anthem of the out. Like it's the Sky High, Riding High. Like I feel like that's kind of the title track of the album. Is this again? I'm not going to tell you it's the best song on here, but in terms for me, it's my favorite one on here. Um, I love it. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Love it. Love it.
Oh, big difference here.
Love it. Big difference.
Wow,
Love it.
right off the bat too. Right, number two song, like boom,
Riding High
huge
is the
difference.
cut. It is the cut. And by
All
the way, I
right.
don't think there's a lot of cuts on this album. Don't get me wrong, but this is the cut for me. I love this one.
So,
I
so
love
what do
this
you
one.
so what do you think of To the Other Man? What's your opinion on that one? The next song.
That's a cut. It is. So it's a lot of meaning in my family. I was too young, but I remember when well, I don't remember, but when my grandmother had passed away back in like 2000, 2001. I remember that being like a song, like my dad sang, and because it talks about taking your mother and God taking your mother's hand, and um, that it's an emotional song. It's a song that I feel like not only my family, but I feel like a lot of people at the time are like, this is for my mom, and uh, it just definitely describes living back then and even today, just how much you love your mom and all that. And I think it's a perfect song for that. So this gets a 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And I will say the cool thing when I remember when I first heard it on their anthology CD, it like they way they layered it, they put it as the last track on CD 1, like of their greatest hits. And like towards the end, it starts going into Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. So I'm like, why? What is this? And then when you go to the album, when I heard it on the album, like, oh, I see. It flows into Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, which I think was perfect. Perfect, which we'll get to that. But to the other man.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's a solid 9 out of 10. Um, seeing this live, recently at the concert, especially on Mother's Day, it was awesome. Over the shoulder right here. Ooh, if I can do it right. This is actually on 2016. It's the Policeman's Ball. they performed this album too as well. They were the headlines at the Policeman's Ball at the oh boy, I want to say it was Whites of Westport, um, and the whole Tavares group. That was probably one of the last times they sung together before they did the concert recently at the Z. But I remember hearing this song too, sung there. It's very meaningful. You can tell. Chubby sung it last time on Mother's Day at the Z, and he took the lead part, and it was just very meaningful. Solid 9 out of 10. You can't skip this song when you hear it.
No, no, for sure. For sure. All right. The next one, the massive hit of the album, the track that probably everyone knows Tavares from.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Charlie's Angels, and that's Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Give us your thoughts.
So, the headline, I phrase, vibrato, whatever you want to call it, whatever you musicians like to call your lead line, your lead get, just like if you're an English major and you're writing a paragraph, what you want to stick out the most. Your lead stanza is absolutely amazing in this song, between the downbeat, the music, the piano line, and then it just goes. The chorus isn't, there isn't a verse that goes into the chorus. The chorus starts the song, which I love the best. It makes a great arrangement, and just how they go throughout it, through the highs and the lows throughout it. It's great. It's a get up and dance kind of song. I have memories dancing with this with my grandmother multiple times, seeing her smile and laugh. With my Auntie Pauline, like that's just this song reminds me of good times, having fun with family, dancing, and I think that's what they made this song for. There might be some more sentimental value, to it to them, but I mean, it's just one of the greatest. I mean, this hands down is their number one overall greatest song. I have a very close one. It's on this album too, but this is number one in my heart.
Yeah, it's the ultimate pop single. It's the ultimate pop R&B disco song. I don't know about you, but I cannot listen to the single version of this. It has to be the full version.
Yes.
There's no cutting it out after the 3-minute mark. You play the whole thing and you get to the end. This song is not too long, at all. It's a completely different song after the 3-minute mark. Mm-hmm. After, it ends and goes into that middle instrumental break. Is different, a definitely complete song. I am, even with all my favorite bands, of course I like the hits, but I'm also kind of, what's the word? Indifferent to them. Whereas, if let's say I was condensed to time and I could not listen to the whole album, I could only listen to a few of the songs on this album, I'm skipping this one because I've heard it 25,000 times. And it's the song that is,
I don't know,
most well known.
I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but if I have,
on my drive, I understand what you're saying. On my drive,
I'm skipping this because I just hear it so much and it's great. But... Yeah,
it.
1 out of every 10 times I'm playing.
Once a day. How about one a day?
I'd say once a month.
Once a month. All right.
Once a week, maybe. Once a week. This is a song I definitely try to, depending on the crowd, if it is a crowd that likes disco and all that stuff, this is the song I try to include in there. Because, again, this is the song that's most well known. So, Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10. I mean, for sure. There's no doubt about that. Again, not my personal favorite because I just hear it so long, but I mean, it's definitely, I know I said Ride and High is the best song on this album for me, but this is the best song on the album in terms of, quality, all that stuff, and popularity. So, great. Ends on a high note. We come into side 2 with another high note song, Being With You. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a very religious song or somewhat religious backing behind it. And I mean, this has always been a favorite of mine. I don't skip this song. It's not the best on the album, but I don't skip this because I love it. It's not played enough, and you get an appearance by Tiny on this song because he's not really on any of the other. He's in a little on "Don't Take Away the Music," but on this song you get his vocal, which fits this song good. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's well known on some of these albums for getting that one, maybe two song spotlight. On this song, he kills it. It's a great song. It's a you know dance, get up, happy family reunion song.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a good way to
and
describe it.
it's yeah for sure. It's definitely that. I give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's nothing too great. It's nothing too amazing, but it's like there. It's a good song. It's unskippable for me because again, I am you know biased towards the non-hits, but I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a non-skippable song. Um, you know, it has that movement, it has that snapping feeling, it has that, sidestep to it kind of song. I'm probably like at a 7.5. It's been starting to grow on me lately. More, listening to the album more. The next, you know, to end on, so basically all of side two has really started to grow on me. And we end with a huge hit for me. But being with you, definitely a 7.5. There is some story and background to it that, I've looked into and stuff like that about how why it's like that. There is some religion and stuff into it. So probably sticking with a 7.5 on it, non skippable for sure.
Awesome. You care to share any insight on that research?
Oh, I had it on my phone one day. You're putting me on the spot.
Well, yeah, we'll get it after. We'll get it after. You kind of brought up a good point. Is so personally, side two is the better side for me. I think side two is just epic. I think this is their best side. This is their best like vinyl side out of their whole catalog. Are these four songs to end an album? Like there's nothing stronger in their catalog than these last four songs. Um, and that starts with Wonderful. I'm sorry, it starts with Being with You, but then we go to Wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
and Wonderful is the cut. It's a cut, and it is just you have the full display of almost everyone's vocals on there, with the exception of I think Tiny's the only one that's not really on there. Um, but you get Chubby, you get Pooch, you get Butch, you get uh, Ralph. Ralph, rest in peace. You get Ralph on there too, and it is definitely one of their best love songs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just again doesn't get played enough, and one of their best songs. Butch's vocals are just top notch. Like I just his ability to be able to do just that funky vocal and then all of a sudden that like angelic
Yes.
harmony is just like ridiculous. So Wonderful, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for me. Unskippable. No matter what mood I'm in, I could be partying in my car, and or I could be at home chilling, having a couple of drinks, and if this song comes on, I'm singing it. Like I'm partying. It gets me going. I'm down. Even though it's a love song, I love it. I think the music is top notch as well. So Wonderful, 9 out of 10.
This is my favorite love slow esque song that they do, hands down. On the album, it's the best one. Um, I'm pretty sure this is a 9 out of 10 song too. You know, it's from the lines, the lyrics, how just like you said, how he takes it from high to low. It's perfect. The phrasing, everything about this is wonderful.
No pun intended.
No pun intended,
No,
my
no,
guy.
there was pun intended
Oh,
on
there
that one.
was. Trust me, there was.
Then we go to the next one, which was always interesting to me. This is
Yeah,
a
this isn't
family.
iffy.
Oh well, not for me. This is like if I said Ride High is my favorite, this is like right there.
No, not. So what I mean is like it was. It's it's weird to be on this album.
You
I
think
don't know.
so?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I thought. this was more like Hollywood, like we have a Hollywood theme. Like I just didn't understand why they put Guiding Star on this album.
I think it fits perfectly.
Really?
I think it's a perfect song for this album. Perfect. It just I don't know. It's like this song and the other like I would say between this and the Mighty Power of Love and Riding High like all encompass this album perfectly. The happiness of the Mighty Power of Love, the like angelic Riding High and Sky High, and then you got Guiding Star, which is that love song. Like I'm gonna be with you always. Like I think it fits perfectly. Like it's the perfect it's a perfect song to be on this album, and it's one of their best love songs. Period. And Chubby's vocal is amazing on there. Um, and just even the sound of it too is just from that album and from that time, the recording, all of that I think fits out perfectly. And one of the things I always used to like wonder as a kid is like on the back they mess up the time on the song. Like they put 6 minutes 34 seconds. It doesn't even touch like 4 minutes.
No.
Barely touches 4 minutes. So, like I always used to like wonder like is there an extended version of this? Is there like was it supposed to be 6 minutes? Like is there a deeper like just singing part that wasn't on here? But like I always wonder that. But Guiding Star gets a 10 out of 10 for me. And
Wow.
it's a family song. We all love it.
I'm on the other
Uh,
side
it's a
on
10 out of 10
two of
for me.
these. I just this is a skippable song for me. It
Wow.
is.
Stop
It
it.
don't get me wrong, it's good,
Stop.
but it just doesn't want to make me listen to the whole thing.
Oh,
It doesn't because like I just don't maybe I just don't understand the song. Maybe I don't understand it more. Maybe I need to do some research more about it and listen to it more in depth and look at the lyrics, and we'll do a breaking news or breaking segment for a Guiding Star in the future. So Mike's gonna text me afterwards and be like, "Here's all the lyrics. Read this and then listen to it again."
especially the spoken part. And then his vocals at the end. Oh my God. His
Yeah,
high
but
note hits.
I
Smacks.
I don't
Smacks.
know. I'm honestly I'll have to listen to it again more, but I'm going at least a 7 on this. 7 out of 10. It's
Okay.
not one of my favorites.
All right.
This is probably one of the skippable ones with Riding High.
I will say that you're crazy.
You're shocked. You're
I'm
shocked.
shocked. I
You're
am
shocked.
shocked. I,
I
I think
told
this
you I
is
was
one
going
of
to
their
be
best
honest.
songs ever.
I told you I was going to be honest. And I love
I did.
guys. Don't get me wrong. I love them. New Bedford native, like I love them. I've grown fondly over them the past couple years, especially now being a DJ and listening. That your two number ones on here aren't my two favorites.
Well, like I told you, I'm preferential to the non-hits. I'm preferential to like the
Oh
songs
yeah,
that you don't hear
yeah.
a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
And
just me.
there's a couple on other albums that they have the non-hits, I like too, but this album is mainly I love it because of the hits that are on here, especially
Well,
especially this next one on the last
yeah. And this next one, the final song on the album, this is
one.
where I
Listen to this. This next song was number 15 on the Billboard's Hot 100.
crazy. It should have been higher.
Isn't that wild?
Now, if you look in Europe, it was a bigger hit.
It was crazy.
Europe, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe so. That's what I was gonna say. Where like, if you look at like a lot of these artists, like Tavares, like not Earth, Wind, and Fire, but like some of these bands, Tavares, that later on in the years, especially in the '80s, kind of fell off in the United States. It was Europe that kind of had them going, and they had more success in Europe. And
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong.
1976. It was number 4 in the UK for
Yeah,
3
I,
straight
I
weeks.
always felt like the UK has better taste in like, especially when it comes to
I
R
mean,
and B music.
what
When
what
it
came
comes to R&B music,
what came from the UK though? The Beatles, hands
yeah, no,
down.
no,
No,
no, no, I get that. I'm talking
a lot
straight
of
like
great
R
too.
and B. Like when it comes to straight R&B, that era of music, even the '80s, especially the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was more accepting. And why do you think, they tour in Europe? I don't know if they do anymore, but like for a long time they toured in Europe. A lot of these acts like Shalimar and all these bands tour in Europe because it's open there. United States, you get their taste is like it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
You know,
was
so
it was number one for 2 weeks on the Hot Dance Club play chart.
yeah, should have been. I think I personally I never skip this song
Nope.
ever. Not that you can on this album, but even in a shuffle, it's like this
Nope.
song is like the one hit that I don't get tired of. Like I love it. We don't have to discuss Butch's vocals again because this is where he comes in with a funky vocal.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for him. And it's perfect for this song. And then even again, like there's no single edit to this song, and there shouldn't be. I cannot if you cut it out after the 4 minute mark, it's like shame on you.
Yeah.
Because when they start clapping and they break it down and they do it up, that is like, and the way it ends too, the way they constructed that song, it's like the perfect ending song. With respect with the lyrics, and it took me a while to understand the lyrics. Like, don't take away the music, don't take away my love. Like, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't take away my girl, don't take away my boy. Don't take away, don't do it. It's took me a while to understand that this song. Again, you're gonna disagree with me. I take it over Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Not everyone would agree with that, obviously, because that was the bigger hit. But in terms of one of their best songs ever, this is like right up there. Again, I take this over Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. And this side two completely outdoes side one for me. Even if two of the songs are slow songs, just for me, it works. And it ends with a bang. 11 out of 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
The
It
only
could be
reason
higher.
why the only reason why I say side two, outdoes side one is because of this song. My opinion on Heaven Must Be Missing Angels is great, but this song is what I do my sound check to every party. I do sound check for PA, then I get over the microphone and go 1 2 1 2. It's the only thing I got. Like, this is my go-to song. After the party's over, guess what plays softly while I shut off all my uplights and back up? Don't take away the music. Because you know what? It's the truth. And some people recognize it. But it just, overall, like, this is, when you think of R&B, pop, disco, when you want to, like, meld them together, like in a disco ball, this is what you get. This song
Yeah.
right here. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
And that's the album. That's the
yeah.
album in general.
Well, besides my one or two. But yes, I agree with you 100%. This 12 out of 10 for this song. I love Heaven Must Be Missing Angels, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I got out of my seat before they even hit the third note at the Z for this song. I knew instantly, and I was up and clapping because this hands down is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Even riding in the car, I'd just be like, "It's the only thing I got." Like
Mm-hmm.
it's my absolute go-to.
Absolutely. No, it is definitely one of mine. And again, like I said, when it comes to the hits, this is like the one hit I don't skip.
Yeah,
I could skip it, only takes a minute. Those are great songs. Don't get me wrong. Like I can skip those. I can skip More Than a Woman. I like just probably as much as Don't Take Away the Music, but like I can skip that still.
this album alone has, out of my top 3 songs they've ever done all time, it has my top 2.
Yeah.
It's Don't Take It Away the Music is it's I'd have to like go into depth between Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel and Don't Take Away the Music, but Don't Take Away the Music and Heaven Missing an Angel, they're like tied for number one of all times.
Yeah. If any of these songs were on my top 10, it'd be, I mean, I have to put Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Don't Take Away the Music. Guiding Stars on there. To the Other Man's on there.
Yeah, Two of the Man's the other was, yep.
And the other ones are close, but not. There's a lot of other songs, but those four. I mean, half the album would be on my top 10 list.
We'll have to do a top 10 segment once we do
We
all
will.
the albums.
We will. And let's discuss now what album next for our next episode.
Next, Oh,
What are you
you
feeling?
picked because I
I
picked.
chose this first one. I chose this first
No,
one.
I said, come on. I bought this specifically so we could do this today.
I think we go some hardcore poetry.
Yeah.
The second album.
But like one thing, because we really didn't talk about this, the art design on this, like
Special.
Hollywood sign. Let's look at the back first. You know, it's them. It's the Hollywood sign. You go to the front, same scheme. It says Tavares with the Hollywood sign, and then all of Hollywood in the back. But look at right here. What is that? Capitol Records, baby.
Yeah.
Out of it.
I mean, anyone can see that. You see things very easily, huh? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to point out the flag.
Huh?
That's hard. I thought you were going to point out the flag. You didn't even notice the flag.
But yeah, that's cool. You know, I can't point out everything, my guy.
No.
There's a pizza pilot down over here too that they put in.
It's definitely their best. Actually, no, I would disagree. This is not their best album artwork. I take 2 more album artworks over this.
It's up there. It's in the top 3.
Yeah, no.
I'll leave some suspense for next time.
Deal. Yeah, I will too, because I got my number 1 and number 2. And I don't even know. This might not even be top 5.
What?
Yeah, no. There's some covers. I could be wrong. I might be wrong, but I have to relook again. But this is definitely outside top 3 for me. In terms of album covers.
I'm ready to put this on the vinyl record right now and listen to
it. Overall album rating, what would you say?
Solid 9.5 out of 10. You know, I'm gonna rate that because of the heavy hits, you know, and give them a little not 10 out of 10, not because of, you know, the 2 songs that I don't really care for that much on them, but I listen to 6 out of the 8 songs that are on here almost, you know, 3 times a week probably, you know, driving in the car on the car playlist. So it's 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, no doubt. This is 10 out of 10. This is a masterpiece for them. And, you know, compared to a lot of their albums, it's a 10 out of 10. Like nothing like this is one of, you know, not to hate, but this is one of their few albums where I don't really skip anything on their music, honestly, even if it's not the best song. But like if you're a casual listener or, you know, you are a fan, this is probably their least skippable album there is. You know, in terms of like you're going to play the full side. You're going to play the full album. You're not going to want to skip anything. This is it. So I definitely give this a 10 out of 10 for sure. But that's it. So that was our Sky High album review, and we're gonna come back next time with another album. We're gonna decide that. We're gonna do hardcore poetry, so you better listen up and make sure you know what you're talking about, Max.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you did in this episode, but that's okay.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Just because I think a little different than you doesn't mean I'm not thinking right.
I know. I'm just saying. But anyway,
everybody, though, that's going to be rough.
Oh, I could give a review right now. I'm ready for it.
Oh, no, not me.
You have to give it a listen. Give it a listen. I'm telling you.
Gotta do my homework.
It competes with this one.
We'll be hearing some hardcore poetry this weekend in Topsfield, Massachusetts at my wedding, apparently.
Anyway, that is it for the M&M podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We're gonna come back with another Tavares review. We're gonna have a whole playlist. We're gonna review every single album. We're gonna give some lists about them. We're gonna salute them with our first set of episodes in terms of reviews and stuff. And then we're gonna branch off obviously to other artists as well. Trust me. But we're gonna salute to the local band and the great local band who I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple times, and they're phenomenal. Maybe one day they'll come on the show.
Awesome. Maybe.
You got 2 of your biggest fans here. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Again, check out the channels. Check out our Instagram and Facebook pages down low. So long. M&M Podcast. We're out. Good night.
See ya.